Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. How are you guys tonight? I am okay. Sorry about yesterday. I took yesterday off without giving any warning. Now, I do want to tell you before I start this, I do not want any sympathy, okay? None. Don't give any. Not looking for it. Just an explanation. With the way my body is out of shape and it interprets pain, anytime I exert my muscles, you know how you get a pulled muscle and it hurts and it's sore and it's tired. Well, that's not how my body interprets them anymore. You ever been cooking and you've had to pull meat away from a bone and you feel that the tendon and it that kind of that's how my body interprets it, usually down my back, and it just feels like somebody's trying to pull the muscles off. And that lasts for days, until finally I have just one bad night, just horrible fucking night. And that was last night. And I enjoyed it. Hear me out. The when that happens, as much as it sucks, I know the relief is coming. And it's wonderful. And I've had that relief moment. So it sucked yesterday, but today's great. So hope you guys are having a good day too. It just is what it is. And it's my fault. This is one of the reasons I don't want sympathy, because this is my fault. If I would just push through the minor pains, and minor pains that's downplaying it a little bit, but if I would push through it and keep myself in some kind of shape, this wouldn't happen. So it's all me. It's my fault. Ah, damn. Do you ever kick yourself? I'm sure you do, because you're human. Kick yourself because you're like, God damn it, I did that. I caused that to happen. This stupid shit that I'm dealing with, that is entirely my fault. I can't blame it on anybody else. It's all me. That was me yesterday. Alan, thanks so much for the donation. I appreciate it. So yesterday I sat here instead of doing anything. Do you guys know the channel Beard Meets Food? I spent all day yesterday watching Beard Meets Food. I'd never seen it before. Hey, Jack, what's up, my friend?
Not much. You said 11:30.
I said I didn't know when I was going to start.
Said 11:30.
What else did I say?
I don't know. I didn't read the recipe on that.
Snubs. The relief is coming. Monkey, do you have a repressed BDSM fetish? No, I hate pain. And I look forward to it ending.
Aren't you always in pain? So why would you want that?
But there's times that it's worse. And yesterday was the big crescendo of it from my overexertion this weekend.
Yeah.
And so I sat here in just misery watching Beard Meets Food. It's kind of like, if you ever watched Man versus Food.
Yeah, I've seen it.
This guy's a competitive eater out of England. He's funny as hell. And this guy, the amount of food that man can stick in his face, it is amazing. But I don't watch it for the amount of food. I watch it, I never want to see him lose, because the owners of these restaurants are like, here's our big challenge. And I feel like they cheat, because they stick a whole bunch of French fries on the plate.
Yeah.
They got it's like, eat this big burger challenge. By the way, there's 40 pounds of French fries. Frosted, thank you. End of the pain, the climax, if you will. You know, when I was thinking about how to describe this, because this one I did kind of plan out in my head, because I don't want sympathy for it, because it's not something to be sympathetic about. It's my fault, first of all, and second of all, it's a part of the process, so it's going to happen. And I almost used the word orgasmic, and I'm like, that probably sends the wrong idea, because it's not quite that. It's the second best physical feeling next to an orgasm, though. I say that.
Oh.
Anyway, so Jack, we're here tonight to talk about some illegals.
What?
They're having some illegal problems. Actually, before we get there, Jim, are you still in chat? I want Jim's opinion on something. I was watching Scribes TEDx tonight. I don't get to watch them very often, and I caught this one live. And it's this muscle-bound reject giving out really bad training advice. Some really bad training advice. And I'm sorry, this guy was clearly on performance enhancers.
Yeah, Jim's here. I saw it. Just saw it.
Jim, do you agree with me that this guy was on PEDs? That the human body does not get that big without them, whether it's a human growth hormone or actual steroids, pumping extra testosterone into himself. The human body doesn't get that big. And if you go back and look, just 50, it's kind of like the fat thing, Jack.
Uh-huh.
We go back and look at fit people in the 50s. They didn't get jacked the way these guys do now. And they're like, no, I don't take performance no. And then it always comes out that they do.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, can you believe it?
Jim says based on his appearance, he agrees, but it is possible to get that big without it. I'll take your word for it. He has more medical experience than I do. I've never seen it. It's who was that guy just not too long ago who got busted for that? The one YouTuber, jacked to all fuck. It's like, no, I just eat meat. I eat a lot of meat. That's how I do this.
Oh, I don't remember that dude's name.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
And then it comes out. He's like, Liver King. Thank you. That's it. Liver King. He just got that big from eating liver. And like, then they came out. He was on steroids this whole time. No shit. Looks like somebody stuck an air hose up his ass.
Real quick. Thank you, Alan, who says, hello, my friends. Hey, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
By the way, that air hose up the ass, that is not my line. That comes from Robin Williams. I always try to give credit if I can remember where the line comes from. Yeah, it looks like somebody stuck an air hose up his ass and he just Evolved Potato, thank you. Now, this might be a crazy idea, but have you tried just not being in pain or just getting better? Insane, I know. Don't worry, Monk. You won't get any sympathy from us, even if you deserve it. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Sympathy is not, I'm not a big fan of sympathy. I don't like sympathy because it doesn't help any. I get it. I get that people care and that's awesome. But hey, sorry that's happening to you. And then we just move on and, talk about the rest of the world or our friends, our family, our movies that we like, our politics that piss us off. Because dwelling on it dwelling has never helped anything fucking ever. Not once, ever. Just looked around a bit and yes, that guy's on PEDs. Yeah. Yeah. The one that gives it away for me, it's not even his arms, which is what usually gives it away for me. It's his chest. His torso, the upper chest, is just so massive. And that's typically either you're really fat and have man titties, and that's easy to tell, or you've taken something that helps growth. It's just how it happens. Frosted, thank you. Don't like sympathy. I'm sorry to hear that. You fucking bastard. So, Jack,
Monkey.
Yeah, we are here tonight to talk about illegals. Because I don't know if you know this, but turns out having a bunch of people in your country who don't belong there can cause problems.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they can burden the system by taking up resources and space and just being freeloaders.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that when a whole bunch of people who don't have jobs, can't get jobs, don't want jobs, come to your country literally just to take your resources.
Yep.
How it can be a drain on your resources.
Weird how that happens. And it's really weird how lots of people warned about this sort of thing, and then they're called monsters and Nazis and blah, blah, blah. And then people start realizing they were right, but without ever acknowledging it.
Yeah. And, they never acknowledged that the people were right. They do eventually come to find out that the people were right and kind of express the same ideas those people had.
Yeah, just but now they're acceptable before they get you canceled. And
yeah, without ever giving them credit for being right.
No, of course not. They were bigots. It's different when we do it.
New York is having a problem, guys. We've talked about this recently several times, mostly because of Mayor Adams, because he's been on the forefront of the holy shit, illegals actually suck train recently.
Yeah.
But Governor Kathy Hochul has piped up, Jack.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's finally realized it's a problem. And we're going to watch a video over on Twitter. This was put out. Who did this? Dr. Etiquette. I don't know if it's his cut or not. Actually says I'm Meme Zero is who it's from. So just to give credit where due, this up here is Kathy Holchel in her Wicked Witch of the West Best in December of 2021. And then at the bottom, it's going to play what she's saying literally right now. So who wants to take a guess here? She's talking about immigration. Do you think that she's going to say the same things? That she's going to be either completely against it in both times or completely for it both times? Or do you think she's going to have a change of heart between the two in just a few scant years?
She's going to do whatever's politically expedient for her.
As you know, the Statue of Liberty is inscribed. It says, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled young masses yearning to be free.
Your huddled young masses.
Well, they do seem to be big on kids over in the Democrat Party.
Did they let Antifa write this? I'm pretty sure it doesn't say that. Frank, thank you so very much. Since I'm on this weight loss journey, I've been hitting the gym for months now. I'm noticing more and more how many people are on something. A big giveaway is the disproportionate arms, shoulders, because those muscles are more susceptible to the hormones. Yeah, you'll start to be able to pick those kind of guys out. But one, it really bothers me that this lady, she's from New York, and she's supposed to be reading or supposed to be reciting what the Statue of Liberty says. This is shit we all learned in like first grade. And she's clearly having to read it off the teleprompter and gets it wrong.
Yeah, it's a poem, not a series of laws.
Give me your young people. We need to rape them in our schools.
Oh, sexy.
I'm sorry.
Now we know where all those missing kids went.
I'm sorry. Transition them. That's what they do in schools, right?
Yeah, sterilize them and,
It just bothers me that she has to read that part. You're the mayor of New York, for fuck's sake. How do you not have that part memorized? Anyhow.
The wretched refuse to a teeming shore. And that statement encapsulates our values. We want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country, into this state. We say you are welcome here.
Dangerous says, I'm an Aussie and I fucking know what the statue says, right? Jesus Christ, lady. She's the governor of New York.
That sort of thing.
She's the governor. Anyway.
Yeah, you'd think that would matter, though.
Everybody come here. That's what she just said. And for the record, she didn't just say, come to America. She specifically said, come to America and come to New York.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't mean it.
You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. So our message to the world is, send us your people, send us those who need the cloak of comfort that we can demonstrate as New Yorkers with big.
Thank you, Frank. Again, somehow a less attractive Pelosi. Yeah, they do look like they could be related. Our message to the world, Jack. Send your people here. We'll house them. We'll cloak them in protection. That's some powerful stuff.
Indeed.
Where in the world would illegals get the idea that they should be coming here? Where'd that come from?
Big hearts and open arms, and we'll provide a safe haven. We have to let the word out that when you come to New York, we're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly that we're at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. But the smarter thing is to apply for asylum before you leave your country.
Which won't necessarily make them go to New York. That's quite the sea change. Quite the change in direction from, hey, send us all your tired, your poor, your huddled young masses. Young. Why did she throw young in there?
You know why.
I'm so disturbed by her recitation of the poem.
Said it all sexy like too. Send us your young masses.
Give us the young. I need their blood.
Thank you, Statue of Liberty, who says, fuck this bitch. I'm with you. The Statue of Liberty is a New Yorker, remember.
I concur. That's exactly how she talked, too. She'd probably have a Brooklyn accent, if we're being honest.
I think she's more upper class Manhattan.
Nah. Anyhow, it's nice that the French think that's what we look like.
Yeah, well,
I don't know why they thought we were green.
Well, it was gold. Originally, it was copper.
It was copper. I mean, but the green thing's a good joke. Why you step on that?
Because we don't want to be associated with no dirty Martians.
How dare you? Anyhow, so
Slim Whitman plays, the statue explodes, and suck balls.
We see this time and again when these people actually have to live with their rhetoric. Suddenly it becomes a problem. It's still not their problem. By the way, this isn't New York's problem. They're convinced of that. You know whose problem it is? It's ours. The federal government's supposed to be bailing them out of this issue. And in fairness, that's true. Not in the way that they think, though. Because what they want is the feds to just give them a shit ton of money to take care of the problem. Give us a bunch of money so we can build shit. No. What they should be doing is going, hey, here's all the illegals. Round these fuckers up, kick them back over across the border. Fuck, push them out to sea for all I care. They're very ingenuity. They have a lot of ingenuity. Just give them a couple of old Fords and they will make boats themselves. We just push them right out to sea.
Yeah.
I've seen them do it.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. Cloak of Comfort sounds like a D&D item you give to a player you don't like because it's technically magical, but otherwise useless. Yeah, it gives you like a little hug. It's a comforting hug in time of crisis.
Cloak of Comfort sounds like something a groomer says to a child.
Little bit, but these are young masses.
But isn't it amazing how they change their mind once they actually have to deal with this shit?
Yeah, it's almost like they don't really mean it. It just sounds good and they're virtue signaling, but they do mean it. They just don't want to deal with it themselves.
I think they 100% mean it, but it's only because they didn't think all of these migrants would come to New York.
Yeah, they don't care if they're in Texas or Arizona or New Mexico or even California. It's somebody else's problem.
And if they get a few hundred or even a few thousand, they can deal with that pretty easy with the amount of money that's in New York.
Yeah.
A couple 100,000 is a big deal. You're talking complete demographic changes at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
And suddenly they're like, oh, fuck, we can't afford this. Yeah, because you ran your big fucking mouth. Hey, send everybody here. That's what you said.
No, they say that, but they didn't mean to actually do it.
No, because again, one, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm coming from a foreign country, I don't go above the Mason-Dixon line. It's fucking cold up there.
Yeah, most people don't know that. You'd be amazed how many foreigners don't realize how cold winter is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially you get like anywhere near the water, you're gonna get that lake or ocean effect.
Yep.
And that wind is cutting. It'll go right through your clothes. So yeah, it's amazing how many people don't realize that. I used to work with the Somali dude when I was in Columbus, and his first winter, he didn't own a winter coat for the longest time, and somebody finally gave him one because like the first big chill that we had, he almost froze to death. He was shaking, like physically shaking from side to side. He said he never imagined the possibility that something could be that cold.
Yeah, it gets cold here. And even a lot of places below the Mason-Dixon line get cold, but that's about my cutoff where like, don't, you're going to freeze to death if you don't have a house, man. You just are.
Yeah.
But your dumb ass open. And she even says that better. We got to get better about the messaging. Bitch, you said what you meant. You just never thought it was going to come to this.
Yep.
Like you said, you got to virtue signal about how much you care about those other countries until you had to deal with it.
You notice how haggard she looks between those two pictures?
Well, I actually think she looks better in the second.
Oh, no. She's pretty ugly either way, but
maybe it's the video quality, but in the first one, she looks a lot more her face is sunken in a lot more.
Yeah, she was thinner. Now she's all old and fat.
Snubber, thank you. In Illinois, the immigrant field workers move in with the southern relatives during winter. That's the smart thing to do, man.
Yeah.
Go down south. Be like the birds, at least. Migrate. Or try this. Stay the fuck out.
Yeah. How about go home?
Go back down to your country. And we keep hearing about how prosperous this will make us. We bring them in. It brings prosperity to everyone. Well, how come they weren't prosperous in their own country?
Because it's a shithole, and there's a bunch of illiterate and uneducated people who refuse to try and do better. They just want to come here and parasitically leech off of us. Oh, was that out loud? Sorry, I didn't realize the microphone's still on.
I mean, what you said is true, though.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to talk truth anymore.
So you almost had a fudge sickle as a coworker? Yes, he did.
Yeah, look, he was a nice guy, a little smelly because he's from Somalia, but yeah, he did not understand the cold at all, and he'd never seen ice before, so like the first time it snowed, he was confused and scared, and he froze his ass off because part of the job was walking around outside. So, yeah, he got real sick, and then one of the coworkers gave him an old coat and was like, "Here, dude, you're gonna need that."
There was a guy that I used to work with way back when I was 18. One of my favorite coworkers I've ever had. I don't know what his real name was. Everybody just called him Manny, depending on who said it. Either Manny or Manny, because nobody could pronounce his real name. He was a Pakistani Muslim who, if his parents saw the way he lived, would have killed him.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
He was hoeing and drinking and smoking. Any vile thing he could do to his body, he did. He ended up having to go back home.
But that worked out well for him.
I wish I knew what happened to the poor guy. He came from a very wealthy family over there, and he was over here in college, and his schooling ended, and he couldn't find a way to extend his visa. And he's like, I get to go home. I'm still going to live a pretty good life. He goes, but I don't get to do all that other stuff. Can't drink, can't smoke, can't chase women. But yeah, he was going back to a pretty lavish life for where he was going to.
Yeah.
But he was funny, man. He used to run the fry station most of the time because nobody trusted him with anything else. And he would sit there and eat fries all night long.
Yeah, I bet he was a healthy guy.
Surprisingly, he was. He was very active in his off time. He loved to play basketball.
Oh.
Which running up and down the court will keep you in shape.
Real quick. Thank you, the Liberty Bell. Everyone goes on about the Statue of Liberty poem. Does anyone care about the poem on me? No one even remembers. It goes like this. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of.
Send them to Alaska. We have no ability to house them. Give them a choice of flight home or start walking again.
Yeah, and point in the direction of Canada.
Send them up to the Yukon. Nobody's using that shit. A win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's true. The Nihon Valley would be pretty good because that's where people lose their heads, and we could solve that mystery and solve a migrant problem at the same time.
I'm just tired of it being called a problem. This is a self-imposed problem. We just had 10,000 illegals cross today or yesterday.
Yeah, there was a big wave came through, and Border Patrol didn't do a fucking thing to stop them.
Did you see when Ducey asked Corinne Jean-Pierre about that shit? Yeah. Oh, we got to watch that. We got to watch that.
She's such a piece of shit. I really have no respect for her.
Me neither, but we got to watch this shit. For those of you who missed it, there was a White House press briefing, and yeah, that volume sucks. I hate. How come they can't figure out the acoustics in that room?
I don't know. I often wonder that as well. I think they do it on purpose, honestly.
they can film stuff in fucking hurricanes and it still sounds at least decent. But in the White House, they can't get this to where we can actually hear things without blowing out our ears. Okay, I turned it down some, Jack. So let me know if I need to do more.
What do you call it?
How we sound?
It's fine for me.
Okay, good. God, the acoustics in that room suck.
Yeah.
What do you call it here at the White House when 10,000 people illegally cross the border in a single day?
So what do you call it, Peter, when GOP puts forth a wait, no, you can't. I'm answering. Okay, we're gonna move on. No, we're moving on.
Great,
In the back.
What do you call it when 10,000 people cross in a day? What do you guys call that here at the White House? And her answer, well, what do you call it when the GOP? That's not even close. That there is no way that you can bring that back around to answering that fucking question.
No, it's a nonsense distraction. And of course, she's not going to answer the question because she doesn't have a good answer for it. So the only word that really comes to mind is invasion.
Yes, exactly. And not your typical invasion. We're not talking about a military invasion here. We're just talking about hundreds of thousands of people pouring into our country.
Yeah,
every year.
And they're not even like refugees fleeing a war or anything. They're just economic migrants that are coming here to become freeloaders and get citizenship so they can continue to get more freeloading stuff.
And she was going to try to turn it around and somehow make this about the Republicans. No. You're in charge. And this is a federal thing. This is at the executive level. This is your guys' issue.
Did you see Biden talking, trying to blame the GOP for this?
I didn't.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to get you that clip. I also have an article that's related to this too, because the immigrant thing's been a real fucking burr in my ass today.
And it's been blowing up because of this wave that's coming. I mean, we get thousands and thousands anyway, most days. But this is a what'd you call it? A surge. It's a surge. That's a good way to put it.
It's a zombie horde. Oh, thank you, Travis Gardner. I really wanted to tell you this story off topic. Sorry. I saw a manifesto today driving around Reddit at a red light. They linked every bad thing to Henry Kissinger. I hate it when we got to the point that weirdos writing on cars are making sense.
There is a lot that we can blame on Kissinger. That's fair.
Yeah. Well, he talked weird. I don't trust people that talk weird.
Real quick, I have a couple here too. Thank you. This is Kyle. The same type of invasion is when an invasive species is introduced to a new ecosystem. True. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's a mixture of cultures. You've got a lot of people with a third world mentality, second world at best, who are largely uneducated and illiterate coming in to a first world country. And instead of adapting, they're going to use their culture. They're going to attempt to assimilate the first world culture just through numbers.
I thought you were going to talk a lot more. I was blowing my nose. Thank you, Keldrig. Corinne definitely wants to hate fuck Ducey. That's true too.
Yeah, there's so much tension there.
I kind of want him to. I don't want to watch it, but I want to, the two of them sneak off into a closet. Everybody knows they're there. Everybody knows what they're doing, and then they both come out, and they both seem a lot calmer.
Yeah, and nobody wants to admit it.
And she's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. All disheveled, her skirts askew, and that I am really surprised they haven't banged yet.
Oh yeah, you know what? You got to build that up for several seasons though, because once that happens, the show always loses its flair.
Well, I mean, how many more seasons can we go?
At least one. We got one more season of this shit. Yeah, fuck these people in their stupid shit with this. You guys brought this on, and then you're going to try to turn around and blame the Republicans. Hey, look, I blame the Republicans for a lot. They should have given Trump his wall money when they held the House and Senate.
Yep.
They should have fortified not just our border through that, but through more border patrol. kick these people the fuck out. Don't let them in. If you want to do immigration reform that asylum bullshit. Change that to be like, no. You have to be coming from an actual war zone. You can't just go, oh, it sucks in my country. No. That doesn't fly. Get the fuck out. Snubber, thank you. Jack reminds me of the stupid video Jeff Holiday made a month ago that boiled down the Democrats are center right. What?
Oh,
Who's drinking
God.
the Jilly juice now? He did not say that.
I mean, would you be surprised? He calls himself an Antifa super soldier.
I mean, I guess. Frank, thank you so much. Would it look like spinach artichoke dip after? I feel like that's related to something that I forgot already.
I think he was talking about the sex between Ducey and KJP.
Oh, maybe.
I imagine they could go out for spinach artichoke dip. But no, I picture that they'd be playing, some Total Eclipse of the Heart. There'd be some candles, wind blowing, some velvet curtains, and it'd be this romantic sexual experience. And then it's just hard fucking, like you pan over with all these romantic things, rose petals, and you just get up there, they're both angry and choking each other. And
this would be a hate fuck. This would be right up against the wall. This would be Fatal Attraction humping.
Oh my.
Remember he puts her in the sink and shit, and yeah.
Eagle's like, move along.
Angry hump.
Thank you, Uncle Adolf. I have an idea. Let's build furnaces at the border. I'm intrigued where you're going with that, but thank you, Uncle Adolf. Hope Happy Valley's treating you well.
No, remember, it's cold above the Mason-Dixon line. We don't need to warm it up down there for him. It's warm enough.
Maybe he wants to forge some stuff. You never know.
Asian spotted lanternfly. Thank you so much. Sure, we're an invasive species in the U.S. We are to be killed on sight. They get free shit. Not fair. I mean, is he wrong? Anyhow, let's watch Biden. I haven't seen this one, so this will be what this retard say now. Let's make sure our volume is back up. Whoops. Man, their little icons down here are so sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we can't hear that.
My first day in office, I sent an immigration reform bill to the Congress.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hear that. Can you guys hear it okay?
No, it sounds like shit. Let me find another source of it.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes that happens with, I mean, again, if we were on OBS, I could turn that up, but we just can't do it through here. Very low, super. Yeah, I could barely hear it. I mean, I could turn up my volume, but that doesn't help you guys at all.
Yeah.
We can, and if we can't find it, Jack, we can throw it into chat for everybody. You can tell me what he said.
Yeah, he was blaming the GOP for undermining border security.
What? Oh, please tell me this doesn't relate to them holding up the new head of the Joint Chiefs that's being held up, or is it?
No, he said this is going on for decades.
Oh, gotcha.
They're just continuing that behavior now.
Oh, yeah, because they won't give immigration reform and that kind of stupid shit.
Yeah, try that link. Yeah. This is a much shorter clip, but
I'm just gonna say this once again: we don't need immigration reform. We need to apply the laws.
What?
Same like we need to do with guns and your kid, you stupid fuck.
Nah, I mean his kid's special. He's sophisticated, smartest person he knows.
Yeah, that is a much better recording of that.
Yeah, it's a much shorter clip though.
We don't get the interpreter in it, which I always like to watch. All right, here we go.
For decades, immigration reform has been a bipartisan in this country.
Was that a sentence?
No.
For decades, immigration reform should have been in the country. Don't worry, guys. There's nothing wrong with this man. Nothing to say. And I know that's not why we're here for this video, but every fucking time I hear this guy speak, that's his stutter, y'all. His stutter is just skipping words. You ever hear a stutter that just skip the words? Don't they usually get stuck on a word? Isn't that what a stutter is?
Usually, but I guess it's a new stutter. It's like Common Core stuttering.
It's that DEI stuttering.
Yeah,
All right.
like you do.
For decades, immigration reform has been a bipartisan in this country. Unfortunately, the mega Republican congressman of my predecessor.
What the fuck? God, it's hard to tell what he's even saying. Is he drunk? If he's drunk, it makes sense.
No, he's just retarded.
If they came out and told me, hey, he doesn't have dementia, he's just an alcoholic, I'd be like, oh, all right. I mean, he still shouldn't be in office that way, and he should go get some help. But that's the only other thing that explains it. He's losing his faculties. I'm not even being facetious here. I am not even sure what words he just said.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been getting a lot worse over the past year, but we called this a long time ago that there's something wrong with him during the campaign.
I'm going to try it again. We're going to listen to the whole thing, but oh, good God, this is rough.
For decades, immigration reform has been a bipartisan in this country. Unfortunately, the mega Republican congressman of my predecessor spent 4 years gutting the immigration system under my predecessor.
Okay, I think I understood what he said there. For years, the Republicans have been undercutting it.
It used to be a bipartisan issue, but under the last administration and the mega Republicans, they started gutting it.
And then he repeats under the last administration.
Yes, because he's fucking dumb. He did this in a speech the other day, too, where I think it was yesterday, where he basically told a story and then waited a second and then repeated it almost verbatim.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Now, I know this is the short clip. In the long clip, does he actually tell us what they did to gut immigration?
No, it's just their fault. It's not his fault.
Because if I remember, they were horrifically upset with the stuff Trump was doing to try to keep people out, to the point that they took the wall leftovers and sold the shit instead of finishing the wall.
Yeah, maybe that's what he means, though. We used to just let everyone in, and he gutted the system by putting safeguards in place to protect America.
Frost said maybe we do need the sign language lady. There's, what was it on? It's either a movie or back in SNL's old days. They would have the woman doing, the sign language off to the side. And eventually she gets to the point where she's just doing the mimicking of jacking off.
Yeah.
I would love to see that from the interpreter, the sign language interpreter, trying to interpret what the fuck this guy's saying. Just throw her hands up like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be appropriate. Like, mumbles incoherently is also signing.
And yes, Mofo, he has been saying mega Republicans instead of MAGA. He's been doing it a lot lately.
Because he's fucked up in the brain box.
We watched him do it the other day when he did it like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, he said MAGA once and mega every other time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Asian spotted lanternfly. Speaking of Asians, I'd like to affirm Cryptic's gender. Cryotics gender. His pronouns are he-ya. I think
Biden also tried ending Title 42. Yes, he did. Yeah. And didn't it actually end?
Yeah, it finally ended.
He tried to end it earlier than it was supposed to, and because they were supposed to do the end of the emergency declaration, which is how they got Title 42 anyway. Which should just be our policy to begin with. Anyway, let's listen to him mumble through the rest of this shit. We got 6 seconds left. Who thinks I'm going to stop it before the end? Give me a one.
Before you do that, thank you, Uncle Adolf, who says the ovens at the border is for power generation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of renewable resources down there, I hear. So it'd be good for getting rid of fossil fuels.
I would have went with making taco pizzas. Help feed them their native food. By the way, taco pizzas were not invented in Mexico. Here we go. Just like, did you know nachos were invented in America?
Well, so was the fortune cookie.
Yeah. We're innovative.
Yeah, we're awesome like that.
We take shitty food from around the world and make it taste good.
Yeah, it's what the British did. You don't think like tiki masala was a Indian invention, do you? British came up with that shit.
You know how we do it? We take
Oh.
whatever it is that is nasty in another country and just put a bunch of cheese on that shit.
And salt.
And salt. Salt and cheese. Ooh.
I'm hungry now.
Me too. I want some salted cheese.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Now, the way I put salt on cheese is through ranch dressing, but it still counts.
Yeah, gross, but fair.
Yeah. By the way, ranch on fries, really good.
Yeah, mayonnaise on fries is good too.
My son, who has lived with me most of his life, just realized the other day how much stuff his dad puts ranch on.
Dad, why do we have this 50-gallon drum of ranch? Shut up!
This is true. I use so much ranch that we keep an extra bottle so that I don't run out.
You're buying the bulk size too, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm just the biggest bottle, not the one with the handle on it. Because it's too hard to use.
Pours like a milk jug.
Oh, but when they used to, I don't think, well, at least our Walmart, they don't sell the double pack of the big one anymore. So I got to buy them individually, and it pisses me off.
Everybody that used to buy it died.
It's probably what's wrong with my eye. That's not fluid buildup. There's ranch back there.
Yeah. I don't know how you did it, sir, but Mr. Monkey, your eyeball is full ranch dressing.
Oh, real quick, I should have done this at the top of the show. I did get my appointment made for the optical specialist, the optic nerve specialist. Bitch called me today, and it's not going to be within the 2-week time frame they wanted it, but it's really close, so it's not too bad.
Oh, good.
But she called me. She goes, how about this day at 9 a.m.? And like, ooh, when's your first afternoon appointment? And luckily, it was the next day, so I took that one.
Ah, nice.
But we have to drive like an hour and a half to get there. So doing that at 7:30 in the morning, that hits traffic in Grand Rapids, and I prefer to skip that shit.
Oh, no doubt. City traffic always sucks in the morning.
We'll probably hit some of it on the way out, but it's not too bad because once you leave Grand Rapids at nighttime, it just clears up all the way to my house. Anyway, do you make your own ranch to feed your habit? No. I mainline Hidden Valley because that's just the bomb. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, was that you need a 40-gallon one for restaurants with a dispenser? That would probably go bad. I don't eat quite that much. I go through a bottle about every month and a half. Is that too much?
I'm gonna check with Maury Povich on that one because I think that was a lie.
No, it's about right. Remember, I don't eat as much as I used to, so
yeah, your arteries say otherwise.
I eat it on healthy stuff like hot dogs. All right, here we go. Let's finish up with Mumble Boy here. Why do you guys watch this shit? We're talking about ranch dressing in the middle of a discussion about illegal immigrants and our retarded president.
Real quick, thank you, Kraut. I bought a 55-gallon drum of lube recently.
Wow. Faithless says, month and a half, you were actually a lightweight. Yeah, like I said, I used to use a lot more, but I don't eat that often anymore. I eat maybe a meal a day. I haven't really eaten in 2 days now. Oh shit, I should probably eat.
Yeah, I wonder why you're so lightheaded.
Huh. I'm not lightheaded. I feel good. I still have a few rumblings left on my back.
All in his head.
Yeah. No, I'm doing good. But yeah, I don't eat as much as I used to. So,
well.
All right.
They continue to undermine our border security today, blocking bipartisan reform.
The only reason I didn't stop that is because I'm not exactly sure. I heard they continue to undermine blocking bipartisan reform, but wasn't there? Hang on.
They continue to undermine our border security today, blocking bipartisan reform.
What bipartisan reform is blocking border patrol or border protection?
No, I think he's saying that the Republicans are continuing to undermine border security because they're not supporting bipartisan reform. they're blocking it somehow.
No,
I don't know what legislation he's talking about, but
yeah, that's my question. I get what you're saying, and that's kind of what I got from his mumble there.
yeah.
But what is the reform? Real quick, let me get this. Poker, thank you so much. If you need lube, you're not doing it right. And sometimes the hole's dry, man.
Tears are
Just saying.
nature's lubricant.
Also depends on which side you're going in. Anyhow, I don't know what reform he's talking about.
I don't know of any bipartisan reform or any reform at all, because the only reform I see is them trying to make these borders much more porous and
Yes.
give all these people special rights and free stuff. Which, by the way, I have a follow-up article to this video.
Sure, and
in there too.
Yeah, and we will grab that, but I'm just curious how, because you're right, the legislation that I have seen, at least, all of it has to do with making it easier for illegals to come in. They want, oh, it's the process that takes so long. Yeah, our legal process takes long because the immigration courts are clogged up with all this fucking illegal shit.
Yeah.
And just making it so that they're automatically taken in, bumping up the numbers of how many we take or whatever stupid shit they want to do isn't going to fix the fucking problem.
No, they just want to let anyone in. They don't want anybody to have to go through courts or paperwork. They're just like, let anybody come in and steal our shit.
Let's take New York for an example, right? They have like 100,000 people there, these migrants. All of their hotels are full with them. They got little tent cities full of them. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez comes out and like, we got to give them some legal status so they can get jobs. Are there 100,000 unfilled jobs in New York City for unskilled labor?
No, but once they get any kind of status, they will be able to undermine everybody on pay. So the price, the wages are going to go tank in New York City. And watch how many people lose their jobs.
Even if they don't, they go on the dole, man.
Oh, yeah.
They get all of the benefits. Because right now they get a lot of them, but then they would get all of them.
Yes, but they could also have a certain standard of living and still get all that stuff. So you can earn poverty wages and still get all those benefits.
True.
So especially if you've got like 30 people living in one apartment, it's going to give you a lot of free spending money.
And this idea that you're just going to bring them in and make them legal and that'll fix everything, bullshit.
No, you're undercutting everybody. And it's a big slap in the dick to all the actual migrants that did the paperwork. Those are the people that are suffering the most, honestly. Low-income workers and people that came here legally. Because they're getting the legal migrants are getting lumped in with these sacks of shit that are freeloading.
Here's an idea. Here's my idea, Jack, okay? Here's how we fix the immigration courts and all of that. What we do is all of the illegals have to stay on the Mexican side of the border. You guys, that's where you guys are. And we'll get you through the immigration court. But if there are legal cases pending, those have priority. And when all of those are taken care of, then we'll check your status. How about that?
I'd say fire hoses, but
For the record,
I'm really upset about this. This is getting so much worse, and it's getting really out of control. And I have a bad feeling bad stuff is going to happen.
Just get them the fuck out. My plan, they should never be given any priority over people doing it legally in any manner.
They should not be allowed to become citizens if they came here illegally.
Yep.
Give them a window to get home and get out of our country. And anybody after that deadline can never be an American citizen. And they will be considered an invader / terrorist.
True.
I got a couple things backed up here. Actually, I got 4. Thank you, Cigar Chomping Penguin, for that generous donation. He says, tried sending this to Monk, but for some reason it didn't take. I have a speech disorder called dyslexia. It's like dyslexia for the spoken word. He sounds like me when I have a momentary lapse. Jumbled but mostly understandable sentences. But you have an actual speech disorder, and he has dementia.
Yeah, because Biden did this issue 10 years ago.
Yeah, this is definitely new. I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. Speech problems, that was always one I was afraid of. because that sucks so bad. There's nothing more frustrating than not being able to communicate.
We're going to get to that in a little bit.
Thank you, Hidden Valley. Nice try, Monk, but no sponsorship till you eat enough, so you can splooge on some buffalo wings without a change in flavor.
One, I don't eat buffalo wings. They're gross.
You're a monster. You know that? You eat hot dogs, but not buffalo wings.
Buffalo flavoring is gross.
There's lots of flavors for buffalo wings, dude.
I will eat barbecue chicken chunks. I'll eat the fuck out of those. But if there's a buffalo flavoring on buffalo flavoring is a very specific thing. Just because people misuse it doesn't mean that's not true. Buffalo flavoring is gross. It came from Buffalo, New York. They probably found it on the fucking ground.
Yeah, but it was delicious. I'm getting hungry thinking about buffalo wings.
Anyhow,
I should have eaten before. I've got 2 more. Hang on. Thank you, Kraut. You need heavy lube to fuck a fish fight me. Yeah, well, the fish, they carry their babies for 9 months or whatever. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
That was so fucking funny.
I remember.
And thank you, Frosted Glass. For fuck's sake, any footage of Biden talking has got to be replayed repeatedly like it's the damn Zapruder film.
Yeah,
that's true. By the way, can someone tell me why we'd take asylum seekers from Venezuela? Last I checked, we don't share a border. Get asylum in Mexico or stay home. Yeah, these people are coming from all over the world now, rushing into our country. There's footage of the bunch of Africans storming the Mexican border. The Mexicans aren't even trying to stop them.
No.
They're just like, yeah, whatever. Go ahead, give us money. This is getting out of hand.
Dude, we know the Mexican government told their own citizens how to get up here and get shit.
Yeah, they were handing out booklets.
Yeah. Mighty Balzac, thank you. Joe had an onion tied to his belt. Oh, fucking, that dude's a retard. I want to point out the ads that are showing with this. Lane Bryant, and there's some plus-sized women in their bras and panties. I have never once searched Lane Bryant or chunky chicks in their underwear on my computer. Whoever's doing the ad buys there at Archive, you're doing it horribly. Very horrible. Although it's not that, this is just an aside. Have you ever noticed, Jack, you look something up and you find what you want and you buy it, and then suddenly they give you a shit ton of ads for it?
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to sell me? And it's not like ramen noodles and like, hey, buy some. No, it's always like a chair. Look, we have more chairs.
Yeah, I already bought one. Leave me alone.
I guess, I mean, chunky chicks in their bras, at least that's better than trying to sell me something I already have. I don't know why Lane Bryant's selling chunky chicks. That seems kind of human trap.
That's all they sell too is chunky chicks. It's a fat girl
store. No, that looks like they're selling them.
Oh, then I don't know, they might have expanded out. Although the shipping is going to be ridiculous.
See right there, there's 2 chunky chicks in bras and then some boots. So the boots are for sale, clearly. So the chunky chicks are. Right? That's how ads work.
I guess.
And nothing against the chunky chicks. I mean, I know you think they're probably gross, but they're not horribly overweight. They're not like Tess Holiday big. But I feel like you shouldn't be able to sell people.
Oh, yeah. Lincoln frowned on that. I know.
Bad or not, man. That's not cool. That's what Andrew Tate's in trouble for.
That seems to be true.
I once bought a microwave and Amazon tried to sell me another one a week later. Yes. It's like, here, you bought this, buy more. Like, that's not a consumable product, fucker. Look, I buy a microwave, try selling me microwave foods.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake, God, who's doing this?
Are there
shit?
No accessories that go with that?
I guess not. All right. Leaked images show Biden administration planned ICE ID card for illegal immigrants. Why?
Know what you can do with an ID card, right?
Biden administration gearing up to give photo IDs to illegal border crossers who are released into the U.S. Why?
Because then they can qualify for more free stuff.
Yeah, I know. But see, their whole thing with this is it's the same thing with their phones. Well, we can find them later. You want to find them later, LoJack them like I did my cat.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna microchip the illegals.
Put a fucking microchip in them and like, here they are. It's your turn. Get your ass here.
I'm not opposed to that.
And I'm not joking here either. Microchip them little fuckers. If you're gonna don't let them in the first place. But if you are, don't give them a cell phone that they can throw away.
Yeah, or sell.
You put them on birth control and microchip them. New images obtained by Fox Digital shed light on the Biden administration's planned ID for illegal immigrants as officials look for ways to track. How's an ID going to track them, fucker? Sorry.
They're going to know which welfare benefits they're getting?
Yeah, I guess. Track the volume of migrants being released into the U.S. Fox News, along with other outlets, reported last year on the ICE Secure Docket Card program last year. They just did what Biden did. You guys need editors, for fuck's sake.
What?
Are editors just that expensive?
No, they're that incompetent now. I keep seeing this with DC Comics. There's people always putting apostrophe S on a name that has an S already.
I see so many people doing that. For those of you who don't know, if it ends in an S, you just put an apostrophe.
Yeah, it doesn't need an additional S, you incompetent retards. That's like third grade grammar. Come on.
Where are we? Which Immigration and Customs Enforcement said will modernize various forms of documentation provided to provisionally released non-citizens. Fuck you. Could they water this? Could they water that down anymore? Provisionally released non-citizens, illegal immigrants, illegal aliens.
They're like houseless persons.
Matta asks, are the cards chipped to be tracked? Again, even if they are, you don't have to carry that with you.
No, they're tracking them by if they get stopped somewhere, they have to swipe it, or to run a background check or something. But this is going to allow them to get more free benefits from the state because now they have an official government ID.
Yep. Same thing that all of those driver's license programs for illegals are like, well, this way they can drive safe. It's not going to change how they fucking drive. Are you retarded?
Yeah, they should be driving anyway because they're supposed to be in another country.
Yeah, it was to get them benefits. Sorry, I just said that. I was kind of blowing into my straws and getting ready to take a drink. Is Asshole still out there? He was out there when I was getting ready for the show, but once I put my headphones on, I can barely hear him.
I haven't heard him, but that doesn't mean anything.
Okay. He's probably being quiet because I've been threatening him with Phoebe lately. Like, just shut up. You can try to get laid after my show, okay? Don't make me feed you to my cat. And she's been expanding her territory when she goes outside.
Oh, yeah.
And she loves chasing crickets in the yard. We have a ton of fucking crickets, as you guys might have heard. Migrants who arrive at the border illegally and are not removed, but instead released into the interior, are often seriously, who are allowed to wander free within the country, released into the interior. Fuck off. I hate this. Is Fox News, by the way, guys. This is why we tell you guys that they are just as left as everyone else. Look how watered down this fucking language is.
Yep.
They're not illegally allowed to enter the country. They're provisionally released into the interior. Fucking
yeah, it's a short-term measure till they see a judge in 5 years.
Are often given a number of documents depending on their situation. The images show a card with room for a photograph, a QR code, and identifying information and security details, as well as the ICE logo on the top left corner. That looks suspiciously like a driver's license.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, fuck these people, man. Seriously. They are not serious about keeping these people out. They're just not.
No, they don't want to keep them out. They want a permanent surf class.
Yep. And I just want to point out again, the hate with Trump started because of this.
Mm-hmm.
The hate with Trump started because he said we got to keep illegals out. They're not sending their best. Oh, he said they're not sending their best. Well, they're not. How many of the people who've illegally crossed over the border are, specialists in oncology?
None.
How many of them are advanced engineer degree holders?
None.
Fuck. How many of them even have an MBA?
How many of them have a high school diploma or a GED?
They're not saying. He said they're not sending. They're not, fucker. God damn.
There's a lot of criminals coming over that border and a lot of people that intend to do harm to us.
That's what he said. They're sending rapists and murderers, and how dare they? And then was it Steinle? She gets shot.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Which, by the way, that guy got away with it.
Yep.
Had been kicked out of the country, 5 times at that point? Was
Something
it 5 or
ridiculous
6?
like that?
Yeah. Hey, but don't worry. He was being xenophobic because he pointed out that the people coming across the border are, not good people.
Yeah. How many articles have we gone over in the couple of years I've been on this show of migrant crimes?
Oh, yeah.
And easily 100.
Then they'll tell us, hey, migrants, or what they usually say is immigrants, have the lowest levels of crime. Well, one, you can't always track that with illegals, and they count legals in that. And legals tend to be very, very pro-US, Jack, and pro-community, and you don't get to count them. No.
It's the legals, they want to assimilate.
Yeah, Donald Trump was clearly not talking about legal immigration when he said that.
Yep.
But how dare this fucking xenophobic. That started all the Trump hate. Because how dare you say that we shouldn't have this invasion? And then Biden gets in, and suddenly we have this massive surge. Do you remember what they told us with that first massive surge in February of 2021? It's always a surge in February. I don't know what you got. It was the biggest surge we'd ever had. But hey, it wasn't just because Joe Biden basically told them to bring their asses across the border.
Yeah, if that hadn't been a human surge and it had been something to do with the weather, they'd have blamed climate change.
Mm-hmm. Well, fuck, man, they blame climate change for this. It's getting too hot in those places. That's a real thing. For those of you who don't know, there are people, they call them climate migrants. Look it up. It's real. I mean, it's not real. It's made up bullshit, but that's what they call them. We have these climate migrants. They're leaving Ecuador because it's too hot. Fuck you. I hate these people. But I don't want to get away from Joe Biden. We're going to get on to Fetter Monster soon, but I wanted to talk about this article. I like that Fetter Monster. I'm clever.
I used it yesterday.
I didn't hear you, so it doesn't count. Jack put that in my. I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share your credit with you. I'm happy to give you credit for that one. Biden campaign, Trump rooting for government shutdown, doesn't care about the impact on families. I'm just going to stop there. I don't care about the rest of this article. I'll throw it into chat if anybody wants to read this stupid shit. But the government shutdown's coming again, guys, because it comes every few months because these idiots won't just fucking balance the budget. By the way, right before the show, I got called uneducated because I suggested that we should keep the government shut down until we balance the budget. What kind of fucking world do we live in that everybody's just like, no, the government should run on debt? It's like they took Keynesian economics, which isn't even the best idea to begin with, and like, we should do that all the time. Keynesian only talks about spending in debt when you're having an economic downturn, not constantly.
Yeah,
which is what we do now.
This is what shopaholics and gamblers think like. Don't worry, we can make it up. We just gotta spend a little more. We just gotta keep going. Our luck will change. Don't worry.
But I wanted to just go over this headline. Trump is rooting for the government shutdown. He doesn't care about the impact on families. Well, let's talk. What about the impact on families of all of the spending we're doing? We have devalued our dollar. Jack, I went to the CPI, the inflation calculator at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS. This is the government telling us how much inflation is. How much? Guess how much $100 from August of 2020 was worth. This is going back to January. Well, you know what? Let's bring it up to date. We're in September. Whoops. All right. They don't have those numbers yet. So we'll do August to August. $100 just 3 years ago. What's it worth right now?
$60.
No, actually, you're a bit worse than it is. It's $84.66.
That's still pretty fucking horrible.
In 3 years, you guys have lost $13.34 off of your money.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Uncle Adolf. I tried to be funny, and part of me wants to check out. Dude, I get it. There's a lot of really depressing stuff, but the only way it's going to change is if people are aware of it and they push back on it. That's the only way things will change. You can't give up.
And by the way, just for the record, this is using the inflation the way they do it now. And inflation has changed with the times, because if you go back to the 80s when inflation got up to like 13%, by today's standards, the way they calculate it, that would only be like 8%, if I remember correctly.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because they changed it to make so that Biden's 12%, which probably should have been 18 to 20, didn't look so bad. But yeah, here, this is on the screen. I put this up. This is the calculator here. I'll throw it into chat if you guys want to play with it yourself. And see how much your money is just not worth a fucking thing anymore. It's but don't worry. The problem is, hey, we got to make sure that we keep spending that money, because we got to care about families, Jack. We got to care about them families as we, make them poor.
Yeah, I guess.
Think about that on a grander scale. That's just $100. If you did that at 10,000, you're down $1,400. 20,000 a year is $2,800.
That's a lot of money to poor people like us.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And they're like, what? But the families. You don't give a shit about the families, or you wouldn't be fucking doing what you're doing. You would be in there going, we've got to do something about this. We either desperately need to raise taxes, or, and my preferred solution, desperately need to cut spending.
Yeah. Cut spending and start laying off some of the bureaucrats.
There is no reason for our government to be this big. And I'm not even talking about what they do with their power, just the amount of it.
Yeah.
Why do we have so many people working for the fucking government?
Question for the ages, man.
Better question. Why do we have so many people getting money from the government for not working?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I know. I want to talk about this one just real quick. It's not. This is one of those ones that's probably going to get me in trouble. A missing 10-year-old Florida boy steals mom's car for a 200-mile joyride with his sister.
I saw this.
I'm going to throw it in. We're not going to bring it up on the screen or anything, because I don't want to get in trouble for encouraging bad things here. But, okay, the kid stole a car. That's bad. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
But there's a part of me, there's a small part of me, Jack, that's kind of like, go you. He got into some mischief. And yeah, this is a felony mischief. But
yeah, but he's a kid. He's not going to do any time over it. He'll go to juvie for a few months.
Kids today, I mean, it just seems to me like they don't do mischief anymore. And so there's a part of me that's like, hey, at least there's some of that spirit left in some kids.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Is that wrong to be that way?
I think there's a healthy level of mischief. This is probably going a bit overboard.
Yeah, it goes overboard, but what about TPing a house? Right?
That's more of a socially acceptable mischief, although I don't really feel sorry for him when bad things happen to him for it. So
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to give any kind of I'm just thinking of the things that kids our age used to do.
yeah.
Mischief just doesn't exist that much anymore. It's either actual felonies like this kid does, a 200-mile grand theft auto and kidnapping. I mean, I guess his sister probably wanted to go. Or they're just so pussyfied they don't do anything.
Yeah.
They're just complacent. Go outside and have some good old-fashioned fun.
But then they won't be able to play Fortnite.
You can. You go out and do that, and then you go play Fortnite, and then you have fun stories. These kids are all their only fun stories are going to come from fucking video games and movies that they watched.
Yeah.
I saw this really great YouTube video. Great. What else did you do? You're going to have literally no stories because your kids are going to have no stories because they don't do anything. Where's the fun in life anymore? God damn. That really bothers me. It really does. Kids, don't commit felonies, but have some fucking fun. Jesus. Go out there and test limits now and then. Just in, the Pentagon has decided to exempt Ukraine operations from a potential government shutdown if lawmakers fail to reach a deal by the end of the month. This means tens of billions of dollars will continue to flow to Ukraine regardless. So if our government shuts down, we are still going to give money to Ukraine.
Yes, because that's more important than anything else. I mean, that's necessary for the function of our government.
Can't pay our own goddamn bills. We're going to launder money through Ukraine still.
Well, I mean, obviously.
For Biden. Now, we've done enough stuff to make people angry for just a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun ourselves, Jack.
Uh-oh.
This is an artificially generated picture. However, the story that accompany it tells us that Cory Booker, after learning that the rules were changed for Fetterman, decided to show up in this outfit for the Senate hearings today. God, I wish that was true.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be too surprised, but it's probably some more business attire than Fetterman wears.
Probably.
Because at least he's wearing a polo here.
Doesn't this a little bit look like P-Dog Night?
Maybe in the face a little bit, but P-Dog's a little more buff, I think.
If you just glance at it real quick, you're like, oh no, okay, that's not P.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the scar on his thigh.
Yeah, we got to see the scar thigh on his ass, really.
Yeah.
On the side, his side ass. We have side boob, but no side ass. Why is that?
Nobody cares about side ass.
I care about side ass.
Yeah, it's not as fun as full ass though. But you see,
it's not. But a hint is always, num 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 num.
It depends. Depends what it looks like. Sometimes
it depends. Yeah,
cottage cheese.
Lizzo side ass is not something I care about at all.
No, that's side of beef.
But anyway, Cory Booker, sir, as somebody who does have some respect for you, if I'm being honest, I have a little bit of respect for Cory.
I don't.
Sir, if you just did this, if you just came out and admitted that you were gay or accepted that you're gay, because I think he really believes he's not. If you just accepted it, sir, you would be so much happier.
Look, I think at some point him and Lindsey Graham are going to be living in a chateau together, and
running
it's
a flower
start out
shop
like The Odd Couple and end up like Mad About You.
They're gonna run a flower shop in South Florida.
Yeah, they have a nice little retirement floral business or a bagel shop or something kitschy that's going to be in some tourist town that's seasonal in New England.
For the record, that is a fake picture. Just I don't want it. I even put that after I posted it. Like, hey guys, I realize this is fake.
You're still gonna get like 10 people. They're like, "This is fake, dude."
I know. It happens all the time. It doesn't matter.
I almost did it to you right after you, like right under the post where you said it.
Oh, you bastard. See, I knew somebody was going to do it. It's okay to still post stuff. A lot of people, I do that occasionally, Jack. I repost something like, if it doesn't come from the Babylon Bee, nobody will get that you actually get that it's fake.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to convey sarcasm sometimes through the internet, and
Yeah.
humor in general doesn't translate well because there's a lot of people that just aren't like familiar with what your sense of humor is.
Speaking of which, my sense of humor, give us money. Guys, hit the like button. Please hit the like button, the thumbs up on Rumble. Share with your friends, your family, that chick you hate. See, I'm family friendly tonight, Jack.
Oh.
And if you can or are so inclined, please give a tip to Jack or myself. There's ways to do so in your chat. I think it's in both chats. Yes, it is. Thanks to Rebel, Dangerous, everybody who shares. Thank you guys so very much.
Yeah.
It's also in the description. If you guys would like to do that, or if you're watching this later, you can still donate to us. And we appreciate it all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Speaking of which, just you guys being here is awesome. But please hit the like button. It really does help. And if you can, talk in the chat because that helps too. All right. What else do I got? Oh God, this fucking idiot.
Real quick before you do that, thank you, Frosted Glass. A little mischief is good for kids. I was on vacation in Europe when I was young and decided to go on a joyride. I sure had some stories to tell after that one. Sorry, Princess Diana.
Nice.
I see what you did there.
Just pearly things. God, this fucking idiot, man.
She's doing a hell of a grift. I'll give her that.
And she's getting better at it as she gets more exposed for being a grifter.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. She gets more money because she's getting exposed as a grifter. I don't get it. It's like when CoffeeZilla does a video about a crypto scam and then people still go and invest in it after watching his video.
She was just on Piers Morgan again.
Why? Are they banging?
I think he's trying to make her Mrs. Piers Morgan. That's the only thing I got.
I think they should do that.
He likes buggy-eyed bucktooth bitches. I don't know.
They'd make some seriously British babies.
Solutions for men. Vasectomy till you find the right woman. And then she goes on to say, vasectomy reversal odds are better than your odds at a marriage working out, but you all push that. Don't go get your cords clipped because this fucking retard told you it's easy to undo. It's not.
Yeah. Don't have surgery because somebody on the internet told you to. That's a terrible idea. Think.
And then she says, why is it that male cheating, vasectomies, having multiple wives triggers tradcons?
Because tradcons tend to be conservative and they prefer monogamy because they're usually religious beliefs.
Yeah, cheating and having multiple wives is something they look down on, and having vasectomies kind of hurts the whole having a family thing, you fucking retard.
Yeah. Plus, how many people can really tolerate a lot of women hanging around?
Had a brief interaction with Shu over this, and Shu pointed out that this idiot spews both red pill shit and MGTOW shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And those two things don't go together, especially the way she spouts them.
Yeah, there is a little bit of crossover sometimes.
Yeah, the fuck women part, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just really about it.
It's somebody, because I keep pointing out that she's just stealing this shit from other people, and somebody goes, oh, she said she stole men need vasectomies from a man. I'm like, yeah, Rolo said that.
Yeah. Thank you, Travis Gardner. Says, I can fix her. I think you should, Travis. Somebody needs to wife her up and pound that shit, because that chick really needs a boyfriend. I think she could benefit from like some guy helping her calm down and get the fuck off the internet and some sex.
She is a walking contradiction. She's out there telling, hey guys, you need to get a woman who's going to serve you and not be career focused while she's just career focused. you need to find a virginal young chick, and she's neither of those things. Any guy that's watching her and following her advice is like, you're ruled out. Plus, you're ugly. Just saying.
Well, isn't she ginger? So, I mean, she's
I don't know
a
if she counts.
shape-shifting witch.
Does she have a bunch of freckles?
I don't know how many souls she's collected. I have no evidence of that.
I can't tell if she's wearing makeup or not.
That's a glamour spell to disguise her true features.
Perhaps.
They're shape-shifting witches.
Mighty Balzac, thank you so much. Speaking of trad, how's Guntherette? Oh my God, I haven't thought of Guntherette in a long time.
I know, right?
I don't even remember the lore behind Guntherette. I just remember the name.
She had a specific career because somebody gave me shit about that in the chat of some math job that we thought was made up.
Oh yeah. God, man, there's been so much lore over the years. Some of it which I just forget.
Well, there's so much it's hard to keep track of. We should probably write all this shit down.
Well, it's a weird thing. Like when as you're watching a show, you're going to pick up on things that mean a lot more to you than they did to the creator, because it'll be just something that it was a throwaway line here or there.
Yeah.
Like it took me forever to realize that when I play games with Satsu, that I would constantly say, I have a plan. I actually do it in single player too, until the audience pointed it out. It was nothing to me. It was just, how I talk.
Oh, I love it when a plan comes together.
I do. And I always have a plan when I say, don't worry, guys, I have a plan. And I didn't even notice it until they did. Like, I'll give you guys another one. Just today, I don't have very many fanboy moments, Jack, because I just think most people are people. But there are a few creators on YouTube who, when I first had any interaction with them, I fanboyed pretty hard. I did my best to, retain my composure. But Undoomed, of course, Bearing, of course. And today, out of nowhere, and I don't know why, Logic started following me.
Comedy value?
Maybe.
Well, maybe he thought you were Armored Skeptic because you're a clone of him.
Perhaps. No, I've never shown up in a suit.
That doesn't mean anything. I've heard you're all skeptic clones.
But Logic, there's parts of me that disagree with him, especially when he starts talking social issues. But I have a lot of respect for that guy, or at least what he was doing when I first got on the internet.
Oh yeah.
And I had a little, oh my God, he followed me moment, which I don't have very many of those. But Logic, if you're out there, man, appreciate the follow, dude. Shout me out to your audience. Anyhow, little shill for myself.
Speaking of that, thank you. Evolved Potato says, yeah, kids these days won't have the fun stories like how my brother and I used to play real life Fruit Ninja. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Or how we used to throw metal grappling hooks around, nearly hitting each other, or underwater wrestling. We only drowned a little bit. Yeah, we used to have jarts, which are those big metal tipped spears that you'd throw around. Yeah, we did the grappling hook thing. My brother had a bunch of ninja stars, like actual metal ones that we were chucking around. We used to shoot our BB guns in the basement, shit like that.
Mod is right. He says, not true. When your daughter got married, he posted a pic of you in a suit. Well, technically it was a tuxedo, which makes it even more armored clone. But with your avatar, you're 100% right. That is absolutely true.
Also, thank you, Travis Carter says, I've done worse.
Lawn darts, yeah. Look, I'm not saying we couldn't make things a little safer for kids, right? But every time I see a kid with a bicycle helmet on, I'm like, really? Although, if you're looking at the statistics, one of the most dangerous things you can do is teach your child how to ride a bike. If you're looking at injuries by year, bicycles by far. They're probably not going to end up retarded. They're not going to get Fettermaned over it. They'll break an arm or something.
Depends how reckless they are with it.
I
think I've seen worse injuries from skateboarding than I have bicycles.
Maybe skateboards are worse now, but just because of the sheer number of people who ride them, bicycles get it. My
Yeah.
sister, she was riding through a field one day and she hit a fucking divot that she didn't know was there over the handlebars and snapped her upper or her forearm in both bones.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that was not the first time she'd done that.
Wow.
Bicycles are dangerous. But most of the injuries you can get on, you know, you can put on some knee pads. Really? I rode a lot of bikes, Jack. Fell off several of them from, doing stupid shit. I never skinned my knee doing that. My thigh, maybe.
Yeah, I've done multiple parts. So I have skinned my knee off a bike fall, but
How
it
the fuck
was
you
weird.
skin your knee?
If I remember correctly, I hit some rocks and flew off the bike and smacked my knee on something going down. But I went forward.
All
But
right.
I didn't skin my knee on the bike. I skinned it on whatever I landed on.
I guess. Anyhow, the stuff we end up talking about on the show. I blame the audience. This is what happens when we read the audience, man. I just get off topic.
You get off topic anyway. What are you talking about? You have this co-host who's a real piece of shit that constantly throws out shitty jokes to get us distracted.
Not to mention pieces of shit who intentionally hit you with a car as you're driving. I am a proponent of bicycles. The people who ride bicycles tend to have this sense of entitlement and almost anger towards all drivers. And if they'd knock that shit off, drivers would probably be nicer to them too.
Yeah.
Please sing it. Oh, sorry. Lucretia. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Lucretia.
Lucretia, it's your birthday. And around here, we do this. And a 1. I almost forgot to count. I was like, I know I need to do something here. I had a Biden. Son of a bitch. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lucretia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. Really do. Like how I put that little bit of stank on it? Yeah. I can sing. Happy birthday. I have a good one. I really do. This is Kyle. Thank you so much. When I was a kid, I remember sneaking into the local high school to ride skateboards. One time a kid broke his ankle jumping a 10 stair. He had to skate home because we didn't have phones. Good times. Have to Jack. Thank you so very much for that. Really do appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, we did stupid shit and got hurt. We all healed.
Yeah, you learn not to do stupid shit. You get a little bit more gun shy when there's a consequence.
Ron Corpse, thank you. I used to rollerblade to school, even in the winter. Didn't get along with the bus driver. I used to walk to school a mile each way. This is true. Not uphill. It was mostly flat. Because it was uncool to ride the bus. True story.
Wow.
Yeah, I walked right past the bus stop. I'm like, I ain't riding with those nerds. And the thing is, I liked all those nerds.
You just didn't want to ride with them.
Yeah, it looked uncool to get off the bus. I was cool, man. And because of that, I was in pretty good shape. Walk 2 miles a day, Jack. That keeps you healthy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. When I was a kid, we played electric baseball. Hung a cut and stripped electrical cord from the carport ceiling and hit it with an aluminum bat.
Jesus.
Hit with sparks. Home run is blowing a fuse, and shocked is out. I now work with electricity.
Bet you have a healthy respect for it.
Yeah, I bet you understand it a lot better and probably have a pretty good pain tolerance for it, but that seems a bit dangerous to me.
Greg says, I have a scar on the palm of my hand from when I was about 12. On the palm of my hand, I have brand new skin from when I turned 13.
Wow.
It's all fresh, man. I was not born with this. Damn near wore away all the lines on it. If I went to a palm reader, she'd be like, oh, you jacked off a lot. Like, yeah, I did. I was a pro, man. I thought about going pro, and then I was told there's no Olympic event. So I couldn't get my amateur status out of the way to turn pro.
Oh,
Eh.
sorry.
Yeah, it happens. Let's talk about Fetterman, shall we?
Oh, hold on. Let me get in the mood for it. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So Fetterman got a whole bunch of praise today, Jack. I don't know if
Did
you
he
saw.
put pants on?
No, he shared his struggles.
Oh, God.
He shared his. Where I want to find the Harry Siston one because that fucking retard. Here it is. You know who Harry Siston is? That little 10-year-old who's rooting for Biden, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's great," or other people going, "He's a paid shill piece of shit."
Yeah, the paid shill. Yeah.
Yeah, he tweeted this out, which it amused the shit out of me. John Fetterman is amazing. At a hearing on on disabilities, he shared his struggles and got emotional while discussing the political attacks he faced for his stroke. I'm so proud of him. He pushed forward and didn't give up. Thank you for your courage and strength, Senator Fetterman. This is like a 20-year-old telling a 45-year-old how proud they are of him that has no personal relationship with him.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Who the fuck are you to be like, I'm so proud of you?
Why did anyone care?
You were sperm yesterday, man. You're not anybody to be giving anybody praise in such I'm so proud of you. You fucking weirdo. Anyway, Jack, I don't want to watch the clip on there because, well, you never know when it's going to fuck up. So I got to bring it up on YouTube. Oh my God. You know how if you were watching a video and you come back to YouTube, it has the thumbnail down in the corner?
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna share mine. Somebody had sent me a video because we were talking about just pearly things, and apparently this video just went live. That's what's in the corner of my screen.
Ooh.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Well, at least it wasn't pearl necklaces, if you know what I'm saying.
I hear you, but oh my. First of all, I'm sorry. When this guy popped on the screen, I laughed. I know we're not supposed to. But it's like, hey, we need to bring in people to make Fetterman look better.
We will be doing the show while we're in hell, just so you know.
That's true. We will not let something like going to hell stop us.
No, it's gonna be rough, but we'll figure it out. Also, thank you, Rotten Corpse. The bus driver had an issue with my dad, so obviously it was taken out on me when he could.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. That's douchey to take something out on kids for not liking the parents.
We had a bus driver when we lived in Norfolk who hated us, all three of us. I can't tell you what I can't. I'll tell you offline. But she had a name for us, and she was just rude to us for no reason. We never did anything to her. But that was way too far away to walk, and we were a lot younger at the time.
Yeah.
So just had to put up with that twat. Anyhow, Senator John Fetterman they're having a Senate Aging Committee. That's kind of redundant. Anyway, holds hearing on ensuring accessible government technology. I don't even exactly know what that means. What is government technology?
Broken stuff, I assume.
Isn't that like Patriot missiles?
NASA rockets.
They subtitled and hired a singer. Oh no. He actually shows. Okay, let's watch.
And for me, it's been a very personal issue.
Why the porn stash? For those of you who haven't paid attention, he got rid of the goatee that he used to wear and went to porn stash. And showed up wearing a mechanic shirt. I don't know.
Do you think he drives a candy van?
I don't think he's allowed to drive.
I would hope not, but my mom still has a driver's license.
Maybe he's going to New York to find some of those young that Holchel was talking about.
Yeah. I'm going to fix the world. And he hums the Batman theme song while he's driving. Fetterman.
He looks like a Mad cartoon from Mad Magazine. That's what look at this picture.
He does.
Oh God. Look, and if you guys have never paid attention to our leaders, most of them look fucking weird. I don't know how it looks like we're like, okay, all of our pretty people are in Hollywood. So in our government, we're going to hire the British.
No, I think it's worse than that. It looks like he was in Hills Have Eyes.
All right, that wasn't fair to the British. Yeah, it more like find somebody from the Appalachians. All right.
Issue with me. And I'm going to show this, and then I'm going to describe this to others. This is my iPhone, and this is a transcription.
I'm going to show it and describe it, because just showing it as it transcribes literally what you're saying in real time that would confuse the shit out of people.
Well, he's not Smart Monkey.
I just love that he takes the time to describe it instead of just going, it's an app that transcribes stuff.
This is my phone. This is my wiener. One is for oh, wrong thing.
Just fuck, man. All right.
Service that allows me to fully participate in this meeting.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It might transcribe things, but you're not participating, Mongo.
I would not be surprised if I saw this motherfucker punch a horse.
Yeah, and then start eating it while it's still alive.
If you guys don't get that reference, your life makes me sad.
And conversations with my children and interacting with my staff. You know, I had a stroke about 18 months ago, and I have.
And just a few months ago, because there's no fucking way he was in the hospital that long because he was a little suicidal.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. This motherfucker had another stroke. I would bet money on it.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Lost my ability to fully process language.
Did you hear what he just said?
Mm-hmm.
I lost the ability to fully process language. Then how does reading it help you? Because you still have to process that language.
Hate fact.
The problem is your brain doesn't work anymore, sir. And I don't mean to be mean here. I'm not being mean here. This guy should not be here. He should be somewhere home, learning to get by as best he can. He should not be learning to do that in the fucking Senate. This guy had a major stroke, guys. There are minor strokes, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Once,
yeah, my mom had a minor stroke.
Where people, a year later, you could never even tell they had it.
Yeah,
and then
my sister had a stroke when she was younger. Not speaking out of turn, she talks about it quite openly.
Mm-hmm.
Where the side of her face just sort of froze up and she doesn't remember anything about it. It happens. It's very uncommon. She had an underlying thing that caused it.
How's he able to drive? He doesn't. He gets driven. This man had a major stroke. He should not be in the Senate. And it has nothing to do with Democrat or Republican or the fact that he looks like Uncle Fester. It has to do with the fact that this is where our laws are made, for fuck's sake. But hey, if we let him read it, he might understand part of it. We watched part of his debate, didn't we?
Yes.
Because they were like, we got to have closed captioning so he can read it. Yeah, Sinatra, that's another great one. Sinatra had a stroke.
Yeah.
And you would never know it listening to him. This guy, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with him every time he opens his mouth? Anyhow. But yeah, I was talking about his debate. They were like, oh, as long as he can read it. He got up there and said, hello, everybody, goodbye. That's a real thing that happened. But don't worry, guys. He's fine. He's fine.
And fine. I like to think I was an empathetic person, truly.
When you were committing crimes against businesses in your town?
You're chasing black people with a shotgun that didn't do anything wrong?
Oh, I forgot about that. That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chased down a guy with a shotgun. Put it to the guy's chest. Guy did nothing wrong. And why? Because he thought that the black guy running down the street might have committed a crime. And God, they let him off with that. The press let him slide with that so hard. I think there was one publication that did the report from the guy who got stopped by him. One publication, like, yeah, this motherfucker put a gun right to my chest. Can you imagine this big oafy motherfucker coming at you with a shotgun?
Hills have eyes, dude.
You think you're about to be in a Tarantino movie?
Yeah, not only are you afraid you're going to die, your sphincter tightens up enough to turn poop into gold.
You're going to get raped.
Yeah, you're going to get Ned Beatty'd.
Oh, that's a great reference. Okay. How many of you got the Ned Beatty reference? Give me a 1 if you got it. Give me a 2 if you're too young for that shit and I need to start making fun of you.
But until that happened, I've raised to a whole different kind of level as well. And it's profound to know now that I never really considered that without this kind of technology, I couldn't watch television. And I can't imagine if I didn't have this kind of a bridge.
You never understood people couldn't get TV without closed captioning? You've heard of deaf people before, right, homie?
Yeah, or the elderly.
You think they were all reading lips? You dumb son of a bitch. Oh, God. All right. He's trying. I should give him credit.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy, he could be the lone survivor, you know?
Yeah.
They take turns doing that. At some point, he's going to be the designated survivor. And if the government goes to shit and they're all wiped out in a nuclear holocaust or something, we could have President Fetterman leading us.
That's true.
That terrifies me.
Fetterman is on the list of replacements for the president because it goes president, vice president, president pro tempore, or speaker first. I always get those two confused.
Yeah, speakers first, I think.
And then it just goes down the list of all of the people in the House and Senate and the cabinet. He's on the list and could be president if the right circumstances happened.
To communicate with other people effectively. And
I love that he's talking about he never got this as there's somebody up here doing sign language.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot.
I'm supposed to tell you that there's a picture in your Twitter DMs from Dangerous.
All right, I'll check it out.
He's a Sonic villain.
He does.
He looks
look like Robotnik.
Yeah, he looks like Robotnik and evil Mario.
Yeah, Wario. Thank you.
No, not Wario. Mirror Universe Mario. Who's slightly different. Just enough to be like, that you're not Mario.
This is a picture that was sent. This is apparently a villain from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Yeah, I can see why he sent that. All right. Back to Mr. Fetterman.
And, because I live in a political environment, I was ridiculed and made fun of because I wasn't able to process things sometimes or say things. So,
all right, that's the part I wanted to get to because this is the emotional part. Yes, there was just some ridicule, and I tried not to, Jack. I'm guilty of it too. But for the most part, people would ridicule a little bit and then point out, you had no fucking business still being in the race. This is a race for one of 100 voices in our Senate to make our laws, to confirm our Supreme Court justices, all of our court. They also approve the entire cabinet, treaties, and he is one of 100 people that do that. The House doesn't get say in those things. It's all on the Senate for those. And he is one of 100. He is 1% of that voting body. And people are saying you don't fucking belong there. That you should drop out of the race. And they were right, sir. So he's sensitive. He is. He was a big pussy before all this happened.
Yeah.
Look this guy up. He was a giant pussy. He'd talk shit, and if anybody pushed back, he'd get all sensitive.
Yep, Assassin just said that he was a thug insulting people before, and now he's crying about being bullied.
Yep, it's exactly who he was.
Real
Little
quick,
bitch.
thank you, Fetterman's casual neck hump. It's Casual Friday in the Senate every day, thanks to me. That's true. I named his neck hump Quato the other day. Remember?
Oh yeah,
Give them the air.
Yeah, I just love that there's a 20-year-old out there who's proud of him for that. Being an emotionally manipulative piece of shit is not something you should be proud of somebody for. It's just not. Fuck off. And you're 20. You shouldn't be saying that to your elders, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. Fucking dumb
I'm so
idiot.
proud of him. What are you trying to date him?
Yeah. He's not retarded. He is not literally retarded. He's just metaphorically retarded.
Well, I would say he's retarded now.
Now he is,
Yeah.
But
His brain has been fucked up. He's mentally retarded. Not because of something like Downs or anything, because he had a stroke.
yeah, because nobody seemed to care about him enough. They pushed him out into the field. So this is his wife and the DNC's fault.
Somebody asked me about that, like who's controlling him, and here's the truth. It's not Chuck Schumer. To Chuck Schumer, Fetterman is just a pawn to be played. All that Schumer cares about is having 50+1 in the Senate. Is all he gives a shit about. Doesn't care who those 50+1 are. The people that are doing this are his wife and those around him, like his chief of staff, who, by the way, is a piece of shit. His chief of staff is really bad, Jack. I don't know if you know who he is. I'll send you his Twitter later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy's a fucking just douchebag. The party wants power, and they don't care how they get it. When it comes to individuals like this, especially low-level senators or congressmen, it's the power-hungry people in their immediate sphere who push them into this shit and who control them and who make their decisions for them. That's who does it. So those are the people that you should really hate. I don't hate Fetterman. I think Fetterman's a pawn. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
He should have went into a house or into a home. He should have been home resting, getting as good as he can from this stroke. He probably made it so he'll never fully recover. Because what was it, 6 months minimum rest you're supposed to get after a major stroke?
Yeah, they recommend a minimum of 6 months. They prefer a year.
And they had this poor bastard back out less than a month?
Yeah.
Out campaigning? I feel bad for Fetterman. So do I. Look, we make a lot of fun of him because he's a goofy looking fucker and he shouldn't be there. Sorry. They did this. It's not my fault. I don't feel guilt about making fun of him.
I don't either because he's an asshole.
But the people I hate in this situation are his wife and the people around him who kept him pushed into this.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way he should have been on the ballot.
Yeah.
And this is why I say things like it's not an age limit that we need. It's a cognitive limit. This guy would never pass that. And for the record, for anybody, what about Mitch McConnell? Yeah, that motherfucker too. He should be out of the Senate now.
Yeah, he's obviously in severe decline. So him and Dianne Feinstein can be in the same rest home together.
As much somebody said Schumer should be gone too. No, look, I don't like Chuck Schumer. I think he is a fucking douchebag, but at least he still has his mental capacities as far as we can tell. You can't look at him 20 years ago and look at him now and be like, yeah, he's in clear decline. That's another with the age thing. It's not just age. Pelosi's one that has clearly declined, probably due to alcoholism. Just saying. Anyway,
she calls that grandma's little helper. That's how she gets through meetings.
Grandma's little helper.
I got a Senate meeting. And the Senate meeting is what she calls having a bunch of shots lined up.
I want to talk about this one. it was making the rounds the last few days, and we haven't had a chance to touch on it, but it's kind of an important one, in my opinion. Comedian Hassan Minhaj, I think is how you say his name, under fire for fabrications and routines portraying himself as a victim of racism. So he gets up, Jack, and he does his routines, and he says things like he had to rush his daughter to the hospital because he was sent a letter with some white powder and he thought it might have been anthrax, which I got to say is fucking hilarious. That is hilarious. I'm not sure how, but I'm sure it was.
I'm sure it was stunning and bravely hilarious.
But he accidentally spills the beans that, what does he say? 70% of it is emotionally true.
Emotionally true. What is the AOC?
Emotionally true. And he peddles this bullshit about being the victim of racism because he's Asian and Muslim. It's all a lie. And there's people defending, hey, comedians exaggerate. There's a difference between exaggerating and pushing racist bullshit.
Yeah, if it was like, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence on this one because it's stupid. But if he wasn't trying to portray it as true and he was doing like a bit, like an obvious character bit, but it doesn't sound like that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I used the example when I was talking about this on Twitter. Whether you like him or not, Larry the Cable Guy, we're all in on the joke that he's not really like that.
Yeah.
That he's portraying this over-the-top redneck. And we're all in on that joke. He's telling these stories as though they actually happened. And there's a huge difference there.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you're doing something like pushing this racist shit. I hate people who peddle racism. I hate them. I hate this man. Because you are making society worse, asshole.
Yeah, there's so many phantom racial incidences. They just have to fabricate them because there's just not enough racists out there.
Well, this came up in large part because he's on the short list to replace Trevor Noah as the host for that stupid ass show that has no relevance anymore.
Oh, so they're just going to continue getting less funny people each time?
Yeah, less funny and more racist. Woohoo! Go Comedy Central.
Good job, Comedy Central.
Should just change it to Racism Central and be done with it.
Yeah, Daily Show hasn't been funny since Craig Kilborn was the host.
We did that. Do I care about that? I just briefly want to. Oh, by the way, Hunter Biden was told he's not allowed to go to his hearing virtually. He had to show up in person.
Yeah,
which is funny as shit. Okay, I want to talk about this AOC tweet from yesterday, and then we can hit a couple of yours, and we'll wrap it up because I do want to do a game stream tonight. She's talking about this thing. Today we celebrate the creation of the American Climate Corps. Why is it these commies always have a lot of C's in their little groups that they make?
So they could get commie in there.
A win for Americans, our future, and the planet. This victory is the culmination of more than 2 years of organizing, and it cannot be overstated how much this victory belongs to our youth organizers. In April of 2021, Senator Markey and I introduced the Civilian Climate Corps Act of 2021 alongside Sunrise Movement. Sunrise Movement, by the way, those are the people who once stormed Nancy Pelosi's office, if I remember correctly. They did not go to prison for it.
Oh, no, that was not an insurrection.
That was not.
That was a protest.
The American Climate Corps will be focused on training 20,000 young people in growing fields of clean energy, conservation, and climate resilience.
The baristas.
Oh, God, they love their words. Now, this is my favorite part. This is a first step towards a CCC. I told you, man, they love their C. Did you forget the P at the end?
No, it's silent. Supplied.
And moving forward, I'm excited to work with the administration to ensure the American Climate Corps is a program that works with the EPA, prioritizes environmental justice communities, I don't know what the fuck that even means. Pays living wages and ensures that new green jobs are union jobs. All right.
A lot going on there.
Yeah, up until the very end there, like, okay, it's just a bunch of stupid climate shit. Which again, I will remind you is commie bullshit. But how the fuck do we go from we got to save the climate to living wages and union jobs?
I have no idea.
Could y'all just admit you're commies? You'll look, AOC, you'll get elected anyway. Where you live, coming out as commie, you'll absolutely get reelected. It's not like you got to worry about it. CCC in Russian would be KKK.
I think he cracked the code.
I think they just like the k sound. Kami. But I just loved how we got to save the environment and unions. So let me get this straight. If they're non-union jobs, the environment's not worth saving. We're all going to die if we don't fix this climate change. But hey, fuck it. Let's all die unless they're union jobs. What the fuck is that even about? This is just Green New Deal shit is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's like Roosevelt. For those of you who don't know your history on President Roosevelt, the retarded one, not the Rough Rider, Franklin Delano, he didn't implement all of his changes at once. He's like, we need to do this. And most of them were highly unpopular. Some of them were popular, Jack, especially with poor people at the time. Yeah, give me Social Security. But a lot of the shit was unpopular because it was commie bullshit. And it took them decades to get that shit through. And it's, Kelly, thank you. The C stands for cuck. Thank you so much. It took them decades to get this shit pushed through. And it's what they're doing with the Green New Deal. They're just slowly getting it passed anyway. They're just not doing it all at once and calling it that anymore. A lot of the bullshit Inflation Reduction Act was exactly the Green New Deal. We got to pay attention to this stuff. And it's not like we can fight it now, Jack. I think we're too far gone in this area, honestly. I think we're going to have to go through communism, have a revolution to get the fuck back out of it, and I don't think there's anything we can do to stop that.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's looking. Because there's no real pushback from the so-called other side.
Well, even what pushback there is, it doesn't matter because they don't control the schools, they don't control the media, and that's where it's going.
Yeah. Get ready for your kids to report on you guys.
That one lady from the Moms for Liberty or whatever it is, she got in trouble for quoting, I think it was quoting Hitler, where he basically says, if you want to push propaganda, you got to go to the youth.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. And it's exactly what she just said. 20,000 young people. Not 20,000 people. No. Got to get the young. Why the young? Because they're impressionable and they're easy to go after. Hitler was a douchebag, but that didn't make him wrong in that case. And it's exactly what the Democrats are doing. Most communist movements, you will notice that they have youth movements attached to them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Commie and socialist. So,
yeah, they learned a long time ago that indoctrinating the young is how you achieve your goals. Ultimately, it's a long-term strategy.
Gray says Lenin said the same thing. I'll take your word for it. I'm not aware of that, but I'm not shocked because it's exactly what they do.
Yeah, it was a popular notion at the time because people understood human nature a little bit better back then.
Sorry, I stepped on it. It's a true notion.
Yeah.
You go after the youth. Look at the most effective thing in the anti-smoking campaign was not suing the cigarette companies. They had tons of money. That shit didn't hurt them. It was going after the youth and making it uncool to smoke. Yep. That's what did it. You got to go after the young. And right now, the people who are controlling our young are commies who are in the education system and in our media.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter how much the right fights back. They're just called names and told they just want to hurt your children.
But the right also doesn't understand that a lot of what they need to be doing is in the cultural front. It's not just sitting around whining about it on, politics shows. They need to actually go out and create conservative media and popularize it. And they can't do that because they don't understand it.
I think a problem with it is with the way that media started. Media was so controlled. There were so many gatekeepers, and there still are. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. It's not like you can make a new, like OAN. They're trying hard to become a new channel. But even if they do, they're going to be on cable.
Yeah.
They're going to be a channel that people scroll past because you already got 4 or 5 other news channels you can tune into. For all the talk about how people don't watch NBC and all that, they still do. They just do it online now. Those are still the major pushers of propaganda. The 3 main networks, the big newspapers, the big radio stations. So I don't know how we fight that shit. I honest to God don't.
A big part of it to start would be to stop supporting companies that are pushing this shit. Stop consuming Disney products. I think that is part of it. You have to hit them in their wallet and then use that money to buy guns and ammo.
I think what you need to do is you need to get into your state governments and you need to change teaching standards.
Yeah, well, you need to get rid of the teachers union.
Because like right now, and we've seen this with Gen Z, all those articles, Gen Z, the most conservative in 5 generations or whatever the fuck it was. And if you look at Gen Z now, they're just, if not more left than millennials are.
Yep.
Because it does not matter how conservative they go into college, they come out little commie bastards. Hashtag not all. Some reject it, Jack. But for the most part, take over the school board. School boards is a start, but you know what's even more important? Your state universities. Because here's what happens when you're talking about your local school boards, even if your child goes to school every day and hears stupid shit from their English teacher who wants to be their friend and fuck them, they come home at night to your house. When they get off to college, a lot of them leave. They go out on their own for the first time. They're not under your influence anymore. All they have is all the liberal shit that's out there. I think it starts with the colleges. I really do. The problem is they're never gonna fix that problem, ever. Because everybody's off fighting the wrong wars.
Yeah. Well, if they don't do we need a McCarthy, let's be honest. But
we do.
It's not likely to happen. We're not going to get another House on Un-American Activities unless it's to go after the right wing.
And then when you do get somebody who pops up, I think a lot of times the wrong people are celebrated.
Yep.
Alex Jones, for as funny as he is not a messiah. He's not. The dude's insane. Does he get some stuff right? Sure. But he's insane. Anyhow. All right, Jack. Any of these that you're particularly fond of?
Let me check.
While you're looking, I do want to bring this up. I'm in the middle, and if you saw my screen when I brought up my YouTube thing, in the middle of watching a Hassan thing, where Hassan, he's on this show where he's with other socialists, and they're like, people say you and I should get together and pool our money and start a PAC to get socialism pushed through here in America. And I'm just a video gamer who plays online. Why are you listening to me? Right, I agree.
Yeah, why is anybody listening to him? Translation, I don't want to spend my money.
Exactly. And Hassan talked like, look, I bought a house in LA that was really expensive. I bought myself he says this, a Porsche for the limited amount of driving he has to do. You don't need a Porsche for that.
No.
But it's like, I got it because I can afford it. And people got mad at me for my house. They got mad at you because you're a fucking hypocrite. And the people who listen to you are fucking retarded.
Well,
I'll tell
there's
you
that.
guys right now, if I get rich, I will buy myself a really nice house, Jack. I will probably buy myself a nice car. I will also donate a lot to charity. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm well off.
I'm gonna buy a new car. It'll be low end with 4 doors, so my insurance is low. I'll buy a moderate house, and then I'm gonna get a lot of fucking Asians and bang them.
I'm gonna buy a computer that needs its own nuclear reactor to run.
Yeah, I mean that'd be good.
I'm not gonna lie to you people. I am a capitalist and I like things. I like things that make my life easier, and I like nice things. I really do. I'm a consumerist, Jack. I like things. Anyway, was there one of these?
Yeah. The headline on the first article, the DQO.
All right.
That one we haven't covered yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm glad you brought that one up. Ray Epps charged with January 6th misdemeanor. Yeah.
He's not going to do anywhere near the time with what they're charging him for that even Owen Schroyer got. The guy who did actually go in and just talked about it.
Keldrick, thank you. But can you buy good internet? If I was rich, hell yeah, I would have awesome internet. This moment, I love that they use this picture because this is the moment where he's supposedly telling this guy, hey, don't go after the police. They're good folks. They're on our side. And for some reason, he had to whisper it instead of yelling it to the crowd like he did when he was telling everybody the night before, we got to go in there. He didn't whisper that to anybody.
Look, that was a misunderstanding. He was talking about going to Dunkin' Donuts.
Thank you, Evolve Potato. Did you know I'm going to change my middle name to Charity? So if you ever need to donate to charity, just give it to me. Well, there you go. Anyhow, it's been revealed that January 6th participant Ray Epps was charged on Tuesday in connection with the Capitol riot of January 6th. He pled guilty to some stupid-ass misdemeanor. What was it? Disorderly or disruptive conduct on restricted grounds. That's all he got. Piece of shit. And the only reason they did that is they're like, does this cover us so they'll stop asking if he works for us? Did you see any of the Senate hearing the other day? No, it was House because Jordan was in charge. The House hearing with Garland.
Oh my God, yeah, that pissed me off so bad.
He was asked about the number of people that worked for the FBI who might have been there on January 6th.
Oh, I don't know.
And it was pointed out the various different answers that they've been given from no, to well, we don't know, to we can't. And he was actually asked, you can't tell me how many people were there? He's no. Because their normal excuse is ongoing investigation, which also got brought up during this.
Yeah.
Like you just keep pointing to ongoing investigation so you don't have to answer our questions. But we have oversight over you, and we can't do our jobs without you answering the fucking questions.
He's not going to answer those questions because he's a piece of shit.
He is. And if you watch this thing, oh my God, fucking fart boy, he gets up there and like, Jim Jordan's dodging a subpoena. Yeah, how can you be mad at people dodging subpoenas if he's dodging a subpoena? Shut up, fucker. That subpoena has no bearing anymore. That committee is gone. It's a whole new committee now, dickhead. Different people in charge.
Oh, Swalwell's a disingenuous piece of garbage. So,
but it was amazing how many of these people were sucking him off on. Well, they're Democrats, so you are the greatest guy ever. I want to have your babies. And that was the guys. Ted Lieu was great because he has just a slight Asian accent, so it sounds like somebody doing a really bad Asian impression. It's wonderful. But yeah, this guy, he just gets up there and perjures himself over and over again, refusing to answer relevant questions. He refused to answer questions like they would put a hypothetical to him. clearly about a case that's going on.
Yeah.
But like just in general, if somebody was doing this, what would you say? Oh, I can't answer that. That's clearly about a pending investigation. Like, no. Just hypothetically, is this how you run the company? Oh, sorry. That's the CIA. Is this how you run the Department of Justice? This is okay to you? I can't answer that because pending. But I know what you're getting at. Half of the investigations he was asked about had nothing to do with the DOJ.
Yeah, well, he knows he's in way over his head if they ever actually did a real investigation into him and the quid pro quo for Hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But nothing's ever going to happen to this guy. He knows that. So why answer the question? Why make yourself look bad?
Epps was so worried about things getting out of hand, he whispered it to one person. Yes, 100%. When it came to him yelling it out that they needed to do it, he said it to a whole crowd. There must have been, 150 people in that crowd he screamed to?
Yeah.
Easily. But this crowd, which at the time only had probably 20 people at most. Now I got to whisper to this one guy.
Well, he did end it with pass it on.
Yeah. He was playing telephone. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. It was just a really cool telephone. And then it would have ended up with we're going to get pizza, purple monkey dishwasher.
It was insurrection telephone.
Yeah.
Right.
If we could cover the second story there, the VA one.
VA? Okay. How the fuck did this guy get a misdemeanor charge when the other people, the guy who moved the podium ended up with 4 years?
Yeah, because the fix is in and he's probably an asset for one of the DOJ sub branches. Come on.
No. See, you're much not that motherfucker works for the FBI. Yeah. If he doesn't work for the FBI, he works for the DOJ.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's some sort of asset.
Yep.
And the only reason they're charging him is because enough people raised questions and they keep asking about him. They're like, well, we got to do something.
This wasn't even a cover our ass. This was a shut them up.
Yeah. Tario got 20 years for not even being there. Yeah.
Yep. True story. But hey, Ray Epps says he whispered to a guy, and the guy who he whispered to said, yeah, he said that trying to get a lesser sentence. So nothing to see here. Nothing to see. All right. I fucking hate our government, man.
I hate corruption.
I shouldn't say that on stream because they'll be, oh my God, he's an anti-government person. I'm not against government. I'm against our government because they're dirty as shit.
Yeah, the people running things, bureaucrats, they're all fucking corrupt.
If the way our government is being run was done in Russia, nobody would have a problem going, oh my God, they're so fucking corrupt. But since it's here, they're like, oh, that's a liberal administration. They're good people. They ain't do nothing wrong. It didn't do nothing. Fucking assholes. How are you going to admit you had agents in the crowd there? Why would you ever admit that?
No, that's why they're not.
Well, they have. They just won't tell us. They won't tell us how many.
Because then it's plausible deniability. Like, well, we had a couple of guys keeping an eye on things.
All right. Let's move along here. And wait, before we do, I do want to bring up the head of the Capitol Police there when he talked to Tucker. Why do I always do that? You know why? Because Tucker and Hunter are both stupid first names. Sorry.
Yeah. One's an occupation. The other one is something that drag queens do.
Their last names. Anyhow, when he was talking to Tucker, he told us, under normal circumstances, if there was a crowd, the FBI typically has people there. Remember that, guys?
Mm-hmm.
But they would know how many because they would tell the Capitol Police, so they knew not to fuck with those guys.
Yeah.
But hey, those are our assets. They'll be wearing khaki shorts
and Fed sunglasses.
Breaking news: smoke seen rising from Idaho National Lab, which tests advanced nuclear energy. Uh-oh.
Whoopsie.
Are nukes supposed to steam? I mean, I guess
no,
the
if
water
the nuclear lab is on fire, something funny is going on. Just throwing that out there. There's an article we did get to a little while back, a couple days ago. There was another food processing fire. I'm going to try and get that covered tomorrow.
Oh, of course there was. Of course. I'm shocked there's not one every day at this point.
Right? Well, we're running out of them, so.
Smoke is reportedly seen rising from the desert area above the Idaho National Lab, which carries out nuclear energy testing, according to a report. Oh, yeah, that's smoke. That could be steam.
Could be, but do you really want to run that risk from the nuclear lab?
No, I don't. I would like to see that same smoke cloud like a minute later. Because steam dissipates quickly. Smoke does not. Anyhow, the cause of the smoke is not yet known. Well, you're not going to know if it's the Idaho National Lab, homie. But the photo was shared on social media with a request for local news to investigate. East Idaho News is something on fire at INL, asked Micah Spicer. I haven't ever seen a steam plume in the middle of the desert. See, he describes it as a steam plume too. And it kind of looks like steam to me.
It might be steam. You know what else put out a bunch of steam? Chernobyl.
True. And again, I mean, we cool nuclear stuff with water, and that a lot of steam comes off there.
Yeah, it doesn't make it good though.
No, it doesn't.
If they're reporting on it, it's not a normal occurrence.
No, and I'm not suggesting it is, but I do think steam might be a little better than smoke.
I don't know. I think it might be a bit of a toss-up depending on the circumstance.
It's true. I mean, steam could actually be worse if they're having a heating problem down there, or a cooling problem, I guess is the word to use.
Everybody's walking around like, hey, it's getting kind of warm out here, and my skin's melting off.
I'm almost ready to go work for the FBI the way I'm glowing.
Right?
Yeah, this is disturbing. They said there's no answer, so
it was developing as when I found the article. So
sure, yeah.
I haven't seen any newer updates on this.
I don't think these guys are going to give answers.
No, they're busy looking for any missing jets that might have fallen out of the sky because it rained.
I am sure the stuff that's going on there is highly classified.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
But then again, they did tell us that the fucking super secret F-35s can't handle rain. They can't be near thunderstorms.
Yeah, we really should touch on that. There's two stories I want to update. There's that one, so let's touch on that real fast. We were told that the reason the pilot ejected from the F-35 the other day is because of weather on a day that was without inclement weather. It was a little bit cloudy that day, Jack.
Yeah, well, I mean, clouds are scary. Like Evolved has always talked about, the cloud people might have threatened him.
Well, here's the thing. We've seen the F-35 fleet grounded twice, and I think they grounded it again. The F-35 is having problems because they're trying to take the F-22 and put it in a different role and adjust it some. That's what the F-35 is. It's a modified F-22. That's going to piss off people who are like really nerdy into this shit, but it's basically what it is. The problem is because of the way they're doing it, it's a shorter plane. They've been having a lot of problems with control, and the fuckers just die on them. And I don't know if any pilots have been killed in it yet, but they're trying. They're still trying to work that out. And my guess would be they had another failure.
Yeah, $80 million piece of garbage.
They had another failure, and instead of just we got to ground the fleet again, and they're like, no, it was inclement weather on that slightly cloudy day. See, there it is, Gray. The F-35 has nothing to do with the F-22. The F-35 was brought into existence to make a shorter plane for the than the F-22 and to be a different role in the fighting.
It's a short bus of F-22s, what?
Yeah. But good.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Talking about nuclear labs in recent Australia news, the Green Party here is trying to shut down one of the only places that produces the isotopes that are used in cancer detection and treatment. So the commies are pro-cancer. Not surprising. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that either. That's one of the problems with communists is that they tend to be really dumb and not know how things work, like shutting down things that are used for cancer detection and treatment, and gluing themselves to cooking oil trucks.
When it comes to the Greens, man, those guys are fucking retarded, man. Anyhow, the other one I wanted to talk about is Russell Brand. We need to touch on that. Yesterday, the story broke that Rumble received a letter from the it was the British government, right? Specifically?
Yes, the UK Parliament.
The UK Parliament.
There's somebody in there. I don't remember who.
Telling them, hey, you need to take Russell Brand off your platform. Now, as far as I know, we don't have definitive proof that that's what happened with him getting demonetized on YouTube, but there's a pretty good possibility. By the way, Rumble told them to get fucked.
Yeah, like good for Rumble, by the way.
Yeah, they're like, we have no court case on this. It's just he said, she said at this part. By the way, there's a new allegation out that he showed his wiener to somebody.
Yeah, I don't care if he showed his wiener to somebody. If there was no contemporaneous lawsuit or police report, then obviously it wasn't that big a deal.
Supposedly, there was a report at a rape crisis center that, hey, believe it, we saw it. That's what the media told. We saw it, so you have to believe us.
I don't think they have the credibility for that anymore.
They don't. And the truth is, he's not been found guilty of anything. And a very big red flag for me. I've said before, Jack, that, oh my God, all of these stories are exactly the same. And that's a red flag in and of itself. It should be similar, not exactly the same. Like, no, he pushed me against the wall and I hit a lamp, and everybody says they hit a lamp. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
But when none of the stories are even close to the same, and you only have 5, when this motherfucker was incredibly famous there for a while, especially in Great Britain.
Yeah.
This motherfucker was huge. And you have 5? And none since 2006, I think, or was it 2013 is the latest. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on it. So, good for Rumble for telling them to get fucked, because they're like, look, he's not been convicted of anything. Go fuck yourself. We let people have a say. Yeah,
and I mean, there's lots of ex-cons that have YouTube and Rumble channels.
Fuck, dude. So, what's his name? Sammy the Bull Gravano had a fucking YouTube channel. I don't know if he still does.
Yeah, Crescent States.
Sammy the Bull Gravano, who got on the stand and admitted to murdering many people. It's not a guess. The motherfucker admitted it under oath. He can be monetized. We'll get some of that Gravano money up in here.
Right.
But hey, Russell Brand might have showed his dick to somebody who probably wanted to see it, if we're being honest here.
He had too many wrong thoughts, Monkey.
He did. And notice this shit did not come out until he started going to what they're calling right. He's still a lefty.
Yeah. But he's not left enough.
It wasn't until he started questioning COVID. If you look at the time frame of all of this, and none of it comes up until after he starts questioning COVID. That's where, Don't worry, guys. It's totally true, and there's nothing to see here. Other than his dick when you don't want to.
Yeah, it's like any kind of mist or smoke coming out of a nuclear lab.
Yeah,
it's fine. The government won't lie to you or deceive you. They will let you know when there's a problem.
In one of the cases, she said no, and he literally stopped. What?
Nothing
They're
to
trying
see.
to Aziz Ansari the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Hey, this goes against the ones where they're like, he never said no, or I said no and he kept going. Those two stories don't even come close to matching up to the rapist you're trying to paint.
Well, they said he did a bad thing and you should just accept it, monkey. They're here to tell you what to think.
And again, while I don't agree with the age of consent in Britain, these dirty motherfuckers repeatedly going, she was 16. You're dirty as fuck and you know it. You know it. Because most people in the United States think that the age of consent is 18 when it's not even 18 everywhere in the States.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's not even 18 in California, where it's now pretty much legal for a 24-year-old man to butt fuck a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of pedos over in California.
Technically, the age of consent is still 17. Anyhow, just an update on that one, where at least with Rumble, they were trying to get them to do it. So probably is what happened here at YouTube as well. Do we know for sure? Nope. But I mean, it's weird that he got that letter the same day YouTube decided to demonetize Brand. Real coincidental there.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubba, you down for ghost hunting? Bubba, you still in chat? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out. I mean it every time I say I can't believe you guys listen to this shit, because we do go all over the place. I hope in an entertaining way. If not, well, then that's your fault for still watching. Right?
I guess.
You shouldn't watch something and be going, this is boring as fuck. I'm just too lazy to change the channel. I've been there, my friend. It's why I used to watch infomercials, if I'm being honest. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
I've been there too. Like
the remote's right way over there, 3 feet from me. Fuck that. I'd have to stretch.
When I worked third shift security, I was like, it's something on. I can at least watch it. I don't know.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm so humbled by your presence. You guys are awesome. Thank you for speaking of humble, thank you for the donations. You guys are amazing. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll drop a link or two to a recent thing. As always, thank you so much for the tips. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming out night after night and watching us. We really do appreciate it. It is a lot of fun doing these.
Jeff says we didn't cover Gage Gross Crotch getting run over by a car. There's not much to say other than Gage Gross Crotch. I forgot what he changed his name to. He got run over by some guy who's now facing 2 felony charges for doing it. It wasn't like it was done because of the Rittenhouse stuff. He got hit. He got hit.
It's just Final Destination shit.
Proving good stuff happens to bad people, but there's not a whole lot else to say about it.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I laughed for a long time, and then I sent it to Monkey right away.
Nuts had sent that to me earlier in the day.
I figured.
So yeah. Other than having fun at Gross Crotch's expense, which I'm not above, but we're just running out of time here. So sometimes stuff gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I will be right here on YouTube on Ranting Monkey Games in a little bit. Bubba, give me about half an hour-ish, and then we'll set up and get the show going. Ranting Monkey Games, playing some Phasmo with my good friend Bubba. We had an interesting one last time. Bubba, you died a lot. I didn't die. That's not because I'm that good, Jack. It's because Bubba is a lot braver than I am. Did I die? Maybe I died a couple of times. But yeah, Bubba's much braver than I am. And he died a few times when I was hiding like a biatch.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. Come out and hang out. It's always a good time. Ranting Monkey Games here in just a little bit. Thank you guys for joining us. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I want to sing about something funny, but nothing's coming to my mind. So you guys get this crappy thing instead. I blame Jack. Bye, guys.